This is what it looks like at 8 o'clock in the morning where I live in Canada. The temperature is minus 26, but it feels like minus 38 degrees Celsius with the wind chill. Cold, dark, desolate. Good morning, everybody. So the decluttering frenzy continues into today. Today we're doing my bathroom, and as I mentioned before, it is really dark outside, but thankfully I have these lovely LED daylight light bulbs so we can continue to declutter in the bathroom. So this is just a quick overview of what the shelf looks like on any given day behind my sink. And I usually just keep towels there. Not a whole lot here, sometimes a vase that doesn't have any flowers in it and maybe a spare candle, and then toilet paper on the bottom. But what needs to be decluttered is this junk drawer or junk basket that's on top of the shelf. My theme for January is get your money back, or get my money back. So that basically means that I'm going to return as many things as possible that I haven't been using, that I still have the receipt for, and that are still in sellable condition. And I'm going to liquidate or sell as many other things as I can that are of value. The very first thing I'll show you that I'm going to return or liquidate is this hair straightener that I bought actually only a few days ago. And the reason I got it is because my other hair straightener, I've noticed, isn't heating up quite as hot as it used to, and it's not heating up as quickly as it used to. So I thought I would get a new one, try it out, see if I liked it. And I really found that it did get nice and hot, but I found that the plates, because they don't swivel, they actually pulled a lot at my hairs, and I could actually hear and feel my hair breaking a little bit when I was using it. So that's a no-no for me. I don't straighten my hair very frequently, but when I do, I definitely want it to be a healthier kind of a straighten, if that's a possible thing. So this thing was $60 plus tax at Walmart, and I will happily get my money back for that. We'll just continue using my Chi Air, which is a really good quality straightener. I think it cost like $100 or $200 when I first bought it back in the day. I've literally had that hair straightener for probably 4 or 5 years. I kind of just decided that I'm going to resist the urge to replace things that don't need to be replaced. It still works, it just doesn't work as good as it used to, but it still works. So until the day comes that I plug it in and it doesn't turn on, I think I'm just gonna continue to use my good old Chi hair straightener, and I'm gonna get my money back. So there's definitely a few things in here that are useful, and I just have them because somehow I ended up getting 2 or 3. So the first thing would be sunscreen. You guys know that I'm an avid promoter of wearing sunscreen, and the reason I have 2 is because this one is almost empty, and this is actually one of my favorite sunscreens. This is the Ombrelle SPF 60 for face. Really, really nice moisturizing sunscreen. And I got a second one because I didn't want to run out. And sunscreen is something that I can guarantee I'm going to use. It's kind of like toilet paper. It's one of those things that it's okay to have a little extra. Coffee break. Okay, the next thing that I can stand to keep is my contact lenses, obviously. I use those in my eyes every day, so those are something that is a no-brainer. We're going to be keeping those. All right, let's talk about something I regret buying. This oil cleansing cleanser, whatever you want to call it, deep cleansing oil by Lise Wattier. If you guys saw my products I still use as a minimalist video, I did feature this, and you can tell that I've used a little bit of it. It's about like an 1/8 gone, and it is nice. There's nothing wrong with it by any means, but I found that it's not entirely necessary in my skincare routine, and I don't really like to add too many different things at one time to my routine, because when you do that, then what happens is you end up having changes in your skin, but you're not really sure what to attribute the changes to. You don't know if it's because of the cleanser or because of the moisturizer. And I am using a couple of different products right now. They're pretty much the same as what they always were, but I just want to make sure that I'm not, if I do have acne flare-ups or the acne gets better or something like that, I just want to know what is doing it. And if I'm using too many products, I'm not going to know what is making the change for me. So this I'm going to rehome. I am sure that I can give it to a coworker, somebody at work who likes that kind of aesthetic skincare stuff. So this is my first thing that I'll declutter from this box. So why don't we just make a nice little pile somewhere. The second thing that can definitely go is this CoverGirl Simply Ageless foundation. I switched to this a little while ago, and I found out that it really I wasn't really enjoying it as much as I thought I was going to. It's a little bit too light for me, and it's almost a little bit too heavy. I can definitely repurpose this. The wonderful thing about being a nurse is that I work with a ton of women, and if I bring this to the place where I work and I just leave it in a bag and say free to whoever wants it, it will literally be gone in 24 hours. So everything gets repurposed when you're a female working in a healthcare facility. And because it's in a pump, it's hygienic. So don't worry about that, guys. It's not like my fingers have been dipping in there or anything. Another thing that I can probably repurpose is this True Match Lumi Glow Nude bronzer slash highlighter thing from L'Oreal Paris. I'm just too much of a minimalist for this. I just don't put that much stuff on my face. I was using it for a while, but it's something I can part ways with for sure. So this again will definitely find a new home. We have another sunscreen. This is a really good sunscreen, and we'll just keep that over here. Don't need to go through that again, why I would keep that. Here we have some anti-static spray. Sorry for that loudness. That was my heater that was on for a while there. So we have some anti-static spray, and this comes in handy, not very often, but when it does come in handy, it really comes in handy. So this, I'm obviously going to keep this. I have a shower loofah. I'm not a huge fan of shower loofahs. I usually just use like exfoliating gloves, or I don't use anything. I just use soap. But my boyfriend really likes loofahs, and I think, I don't know, it's good to have these around because they will get used at some point by somebody in my family. So we'll keep that. Whoops. Oh my. Another thing that I have in here is a candle. I definitely use candles very regularly. I just don't like to have too many of them sitting out on the shelf, but we'll keep this because I for sure will use this at some point. We have some cotton rounds. I definitely use those on occasion if I do my nails at home. That's part of my resolution of 2020 is no longer getting pedicures done at the nail salon because it's expensive and it's a really long story, but anyways, it's just not very good for your nails to constantly always have them be filed down and repainted. And so I wanted to give them a bit of a break. So I thought for health reasons and also to save money, I do my nails at home now. So we'll keep these. A couple of salts appropriate for soaking in the tub. I really like these. I actually just got these both recently from a gem and crystal show that I was at, and they smell really, really nice, and definitely something that I will use. I think I can probably even find a nice home for them on my shelf. Tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is something that I do use on occasion. I don't know if you guys have ever tried tea tree oil, but you can use this for a million ailments. If you have like any kind of skin ailment, lots of different things, you can pop this in the tub. You can apply this directly to skin if you use a carrier oil. Tea tree oil has a million uses. I really, really like it. Here we have a spare deodorant. I will keep this because I will use it when you go on vacation or something. Sometimes it's kind of nice to have an extra deodorant kicking around. Here we have a lint brush. I'll keep this, obviously. Voice is so scratchy. I'm starting to get sick. So we'll keep that. I know some of you are starting to get nervous, so I'm going to move that candle. This is another product that I wish I wouldn't have purchased. This is squalane oil, or squalane oil, however you want to say it. Anyway, this is just a facial oil, really good for dry skin and just helping to prevent transepidermal water loss and keep moisture in your skin, especially in the dry season. But as you can see, I haven't really used much of this, and I don't think I'm going to. So I'm just going to actually put it down here. I'm mostly decluttering cosmetics by the looks of it, which is fitting because I usually buy too many cosmetics and I don't end up using them. I don't like to use pads and tampons over the counter very often because I find them extremely wasteful for the environment. So I do use a Diva cup. If you guys are interested in me doing a video on the Diva cup and how fantastic it is, I can do that. But I do keep these sometimes because occasionally I am very heavy and I need a little something, and I haven't started using the reusable pads yet. Sometimes these just really come in handy for like a long 12-hour shift if I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to the ladies' room frequently enough. Here we have some plastic razors, and the reason I have plastic razors is because if I travel, these are the ones that are allowed on your carry-on. I do use this double-edged safety razor, which was a steal of a deal on Amazon. I think it was only $20. It works so well, you guys. I really, really recommend using a reusable safety razor. You get a really close, really good shave, and it saves all that plastic waste. But you can't bring these on an airplane with you. And frequently when I travel, I don't have any checked luggage. I just try to fit everything in my carry-on. And so they obviously won't let you bring these types of razors in your carry-on. That is why the plastic ones come in handy sometimes. The good news is though, one of those plastic razors I'll probably use for like 5 or 6 trips before I have to toss it. So they really do last forever. Other than that, we just have a couple of things that probably don't need to be decluttered. This is the lid to that little container in the back that houses my makeup brushes. So there's no point in getting rid of this. It's a really nice set. This actually came as a set. I think I got it from Dollar Store or something when I first moved into this house, and I quite like them. I really like that it looks kind of antique. And then I have a couple of little tins. These are great little tins. Not only are they good for what they actually came with, but they're really good for travel if you want to put jewelry or something in them. They actually belong to my shampoo and conditioner for when you travel, if you want to bring them with you. This is a problem. Somebody has been showering and not moving this out of the way. That's not good. I'll keep these because I'll definitely use those, and tin containers are great to have around. They're just so handy. And then in here we just have a random organizing container. I don't know if I can really put that to use. I'll maybe leave it in there just to try to organize some stuff. I'm actually gonna put everything back into that container that I'm gonna be keeping, try to organize it a little bit better, try to organize my shelf a little bit better, and then I will show you guys the finished result. Okay, so this is how I organized that little bin. This looks so much better than what it did. I have everything really nicely organized. I took a couple of things out and put them under the sink that didn't really need to be there, like the static guard and those 2 little tin containers and the spare deodorant. I think those are the only things that I moved to a new home. And otherwise, it actually looks like everything fits in there now and it has a proper home. And then I just organized those little bath salts on the side there, and I thought I would leave that candle out because I do use candles on occasion. It's not like I don't use them, so it will be used there. I still might change things up in the future. I think I'll flip these towels around just so they look a little nicer. There, that looks a little bit better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little bathroom declutter, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish my coffee and get set up for our next big decluttering frenzy, which is going to be my dresses. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys all next time.